We're back with our monthly used car update. I'm a licensed auto dealer here in St. Louis, and it's important that we follow the market and look at trends for predictability. So for the month of November, I get my data from Manheim. I believe they have 60% market share on the wholesale side. So what I'm going to talk about is what I see when we're looking to go out and acquire inventory. Okay, so Manheim has what's called Manheim Marketing Report. So looking at the data from November, here's what MMR was, and then looking at what vehicles actually really sold for in comparison to the national average was damn near dollar for dollar. So what that tells me is the market is stabilizing, and us as dealers, we're not overpaying for inventory, which is actually a good thing because then that would be stabilized prices for you as a consumer. Now, November sales, now prices were up in November over October, only by a short margin. Now, another stat that I think is kind of key is it's called sales conversion. It's the percentage of cars that go through the auction, what percentage of those get sold to unsold. November, it was at 55%, meaning out of 100 cars, on average, 55% would sell. So that means dealers are backing off. We're not overpaying, which is a good thing. Now, it was up 5% over the past 3 Novembers, which is also a good thing, okay? Now, looking at the retail side on what was sold, November was 5% higher over October, and we're talking about prices, okay? We're talking about just pricing, right? And it's up 15% year over year. Now, let's talk about the supply. You know, everything works off the law of economics, supply and demand. At the end of November, dealers had an average of 46 days supply of used vehicles. That's in the nation. That's down from 55% a year ago. What I think that tells me is the market is stabilizing. I think that signals that dealers are getting more realistic with pricing and they're not overpricing. So when looking at numbers from November 2024 compared to November 2023, we don't see very much fluctuation except for the big elephant in the room. That's EVs, because nobody's buying them. That's why they've dropped pricing 11.4% year over year. And we're talking about wholesale prices. We could make a whole other video about why EV prices are dropping. They depreciate the fastest, and that's consumer demand is what drives us. You know, when people talk about what drives prices, it's the market. And the market is what are consumers buying, and they're flat out not buying them. And it didn't help the fact that Elon Musk lowered prices 4 times in 2023. You know, that also helped tank the used EVs as a whole. And also, let's face it, Ford, GM, and the other big boys have pulled back on their EV production, so that also impacted why EVs have dropped 11.4% on wholesale prices year over year. So yeah, there's your used car monthly update, and we'll be back in January to see what the hell happened in December.